In this video, let us understand how to answer the question and answers in a Viva. So this is particularly VB.NET Viva question and answers. And when you give the presentation on your project, so you know like there is a Viva section. In Viva, they'll ask you a question based on your project. So particularly when you talk about this a VB.NET project, so here the common questions they may ask. Apart from this, they may ask different questions too. But important one we'll discuss in this video. So this was the college mini or major project presentation. When you give the presentation, you supposed to paste the Viva. So where the questions will be asked. And also for an interview also they may ask you same kind of questions. Therefore you should know all these things if you know about VB.NET. Now let's see that what are the questions. So what is the purpose of Viva? So Viva is to understand what student knows about his project and how they done the project, how they depend and answer to the questions. So therefore, if at all if you done the project, so they want to check you whether you done the project, then what knowledge you are having about the project, how much depth you are having. So all this will be tested in the Viva. So what technology is used? Maybe question examiner will ask you question, what technology is used in your project? So if it's a VB.NET project, then you have to explain we are using VB.NET as a front end and Microsoft SQL Server as a back end. So where Microsoft SQL Server is a database server and VB.NET is a language, so in a Visual Studio. So what is the front end? Explain. What user can see on the screen is the front end. Example, data entry form. Via this form, user can enter the data. So what exactly the front end? So front end means on screen what you can see is a design where you can enter the data or you can multiply or you can calculate or you can view the data, you can display the data, all are what is called as the front end. Probably the next question is what is backend? Backend is the one where you can store the data. So where you are storing the data is called as a backend. So here I'll show the difference between the front end and backend. Okay. So here you can see that this is the flash screen. Now you can see on screen there is a flash screen. So this one, so you are using the picture box and this is the form. Form background color we set as a black color. So you can see that back color is black. So therefore it becomes black. And here is the picture box. For this picture box we need to link the picture. So this is the image and you need to browse here and then you have to link the picture. Therefore the picture is appearing. So this is what actually front end, like how the look and feel, how users see that, how the user see on screen. So that is all. Let's say login form. So here you can see that there is a text box, there is a another text box, there is a button. So these are all part of the front end. Now what exactly backend? So backend is the database server. So you can see that SQL server here. This is a server explorer and here is a data connections and we connected to the SQL database here. This is a database and these are the tables. Now if you open any of the table, for example let's say animal table, if I show table data, so here you can see that all the data whatever is entered will be shown over there here. Here you see that lion field, lion, all the details are there here. So how do we enter this data? So here you can see that animals data is the form. So what are the data you enter here? So when you click save button, so we're going to send this data to the animals table. So therefore this is actually what is called the back end and this is the front end. So that's how you need to differentiate between the front end and the back end. Fine. So we'll move on to the next question. If you are not using the VB.NET, then what other languages you can use? So we can use Microsoft C Sharp, Java, Python, C, C++, many other languages. Therefore, if you are not using the VB.NET, the other thing we can do is C Sharp, Java, Python, C or C++. What is the advantage of VB.NET? So it's an object-oriented language. It is very easy to learn for a beginner. VB.NET is a structured language. It supports properties and events. It is a modern and general purpose language. So this is the main advantage what you are getting from the VB.NET. Therefore, people will prefer VB.NET to make a desktop applications. Which are the common controls? Label, text box, button, comobobox, picture box. So these are the common controls which you use in the project. Not only this much, but there are many. So here if you go to toolbox, you can see that a lot of controls are there here. So button, checkbox, checklist, combo box, datetime picker, label. So here we talk about label. So then text box, right? Then button, solver, but there are many other, so you just have to go through them, and if possible we need to learn each and every one of this. That will take little long time, but we use common one regularly, but rest of them, if is needed, then we need to use the rest of the controls too. But you are aware of this, all these controls is very important. So keep watch our channel, so we teach you basics of Visual Basic step by step. That time you can learn all these things. Fine. So the next one, how to add data to the combo box. So in your combo box, how to add the data to the combo box. Select the combo box, go to properties, select items. In front of that there is a button. You have to click on that and then you need to add the data. I'll show you like how to do this. So if you have a combo box like this, so you can see that combo box 2. There are two ways. One is from the table, we can from the database table we can fetch the data, we can transfer automatically. Manually if you want to add the data, then what you have to do, you have to select the combo box, then you have to go to items. Here is items. In front of this there is a button here, so you have to click here, and then what are the options you want, you can write down here. So managed by all the employee names you want to write, you can type it over there. So this is the one method. The other one is, so here by writing the code, okay. So you can see that this particular block of code will transfer all the employee code to the combo box. So we select employee code from the employee detail table, order by employee code. Then while loop you are using to read the data, dr3.read. After that combo box 2.items.add d3.toString. So this is programmatically how you can transfer the data. So there are two ways. So one is manual method, so other one is the programming method. Right. So next question is, what are the data types? Variable data types. Okay, what are the variable data types you can use in a VB.NET? So here you can use SByte, byte, short, ushort, integer, uinteger, long, ulong, and character. So here is SByte, signed byte. This is a regular byte, and there is an unsigned short integer like this. And apart from this, you can use a single, double, decimal. If it is a boolean, true or false. If it is a date, there is a date. So if it is a string, it is a string actually. So how to declare a variable? So to declare a variable, you have to set dim variable name as data type. I'll show you one. So you can see that dim pkvar as string. Now you want some number, then you can set dim n1 as integer, dim n2 as decimal. So this is how we can declare the variable in the VB.NET. How do you connect to the backend in VB.NET? So how to communicate with the SQL Server? We use connection string to connect to the backend. So you have to use the connection string. So how to use the connection string? So here we generally use the module. So in the module you can declare one public variable. So this is a module one public connection as a new SQL connection. So the SQL connection is a type. So new SQL connection. So here is the connection string. But how to get the connection string? So once you go to Explorer, Server Explorer, and if you select the database name, so on the properties you can able to see the connection string. Here is the connection string. So this is the connection string, and you need to copy that and then you have to paste it over here. This is about the connection string. So anyhow, you not to use the connection string, you need to use the system.data.sql client. So we use connection string to connect to the backend. So what is a namespace? What is namespace in VB.NET? A namespace is a hierarchically structured index of class library available to all .NET languages. So it's just like a library. In C we call it as a library. In Java we call it as a library file. So these are the namespace or library files. By using them, you can utilize the available procedural functions in that particular library. which namespace is used to access the data. So if you want to access the data, what namespace you have to use. So you have to use system.data, and particularly for SQL Server you have to use system.data.sql client. System.data.sql client. So earlier I shown like connections. So the SQL connections comes under the this particular library or namespace. Which are the major component of system.data.sql client? So here we have SQL connection, SQL command, SQL data reader. So these three are the important components of a system.data.sql client. So here you can see that. Fine. So I'll take this form only. So we are using importing that system.data.sql client in the project. So for this is the necessary namespace. So after that, you can see that connection. So connections I already shown, it's in the module, it is declared, it is a public. It's of SQL connection. So therefore this SQL connection knows for which database it should link. It should connect to the zoo database.mdf. So here is the zoo database.mdf. So once you have connection, so next one is the SQL command. SQL command to execute all the SQL query or the SQL other commands. Then SQL data reader. So if this you are using select statement, the data will come, data can be transferred to data reader. Therefore you are using the SQL data reader. If it is a non-query, then you don't need to use the data reader. Straight away you can execute the SQL command. Then you have to say cmd1 dot execute command. In case of reader, you have to write as a execute reader for queries. Fine, so we'll come out with a lot of project related activities. So if you're not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and keep watch our channel. And also I'll show you like, so if you open Highblix tutorials and then browse our videos. So if you need to do a project, then you can see that lot of options are available over here. You can learn a lot of things. So here is a Viva general questions available. And then you want to do a VB.NET projects, you can learn here like how to make the VB.NET project. Even you can learn C# project here, so how to start C# project and how to make the C# project. Likewise, a lot of videos are available. So when you have free time, please watch the videos and then keep learn, keep improve yourself. So learning coding is very important. That will give you the good knowledge of like how to make the project, and also experience. Experience is very important in the IT industry. So therefore subscribe to our channel and keep watch, keep learn and keep improve yourself. And you want to say something to us, please write it in the comment box. Let me know what you're thinking. Thank you.